What is going on, YouTube people? You know, sometimes I think we just have to take a little step back. It's easy to get caught up in all the hoopla and drama of the sports card, or really, let's just call it the collectibles industry. You know, what craziness is PSA doing that everyone's freaking out about? What's the latest breaker scam that's going on? Repack this, repack that, dealers this, clickbait thumbnail this, C-level content here, other content creators going after other content creators. We get caught up in all the nonsense, and I think some of us, myself included, because don't get me wrong, guilty as charged when it comes to clickbait thumbnails, we forget what we're actually here for, and that's the cards. And I think for a lot of us, it's not even necessarily the card, it's the thrill of the chase. It's there's a card that you're looking for that you've been looking for a while, and you walk past the case at a show and you see it, and you get that little endorphin hit, that rush of, oh my god, there it is. Or in the modern age, for most of us probably, when you open up the eBay app and you look at the searches, and there's that blue dot there. It says how many popped up. And it's on one of those items that doesn't pop up very often. You know, we got saved stuff in our saved eBay searches all the time. Things are popping all the time, but there's those ones that just don't pop very often. And every time that little number lights up, right before you click on it, because, you know, eBay saves searches, sometimes you get a little noise in there. That little moment when you click on it and it loads in the list of new listings under that, right before you see the image of the card, you get that little, like, Christmas morning feeling. That's what it's all about. I had one of those this past week. Card I had been looking for probably almost a year. The right version, right copy, one that fit what I was looking for. The finishing touches on a collection, kind of like what I talked about in the WWE video last week. I was missing one key card to really top this bad boy off. You know, we're always adding, but the heavy hitters, there was one big one that I was missing. And if you could, you may or may not be able to see what the top card here is on the stack. This is not the card I'm referencing, but this is the collection I'll flip through at the back half of this video. It's a Star Wars card. There was one, for those new to the channel, I collect on-card Star Wars autos. I've been collecting these for, probably 3 to 5 years now. I've been putting these together in some shape or form. I have many of the heavy hitters. A lot of them came together in the last year. There was one that eluded me. I bid on a few. I was very particular about the auto. I wanted on card. I wanted only certain images. And they just don't pop up a ton because, spoilers, she doesn't sign anymore because she's not alive. Carrie Fisher. The little save search notification popped up. And this bad boy appeared. 2004, Star Wars Heritage, Carrie Fisher, on card. 9 auto, but a very clean 9 auto. There was one little streak right there. Other than that, looks pretty good and actually presents pretty well. If you hold it like that, you can hardly even tell that there's a streak in it. This was one of the ones that was on my air quote approved list. And she has finally came home to pair with everything else. This was listed on eBay by Dave and Adams. So, you know, describing what I just kind of walked through there with the whole, You see the blue dot come up, the card appears, and I click on it, and I'm like, oh, that's a pretty good one. Price listed on eBay was like $2,600. I looked at eBay sold listings. The last few that have sold were right at 2K, but the autos were cooked. Like, we're talking maybe a 7 auto, maybe an 8 auto on a good day. The autos were rough, and they had sold for around 2K. So 2,600 seemed fair enough. Now, and this is a lesson to take from here, always pay attention to your seller when you're buying on eBay, especially high dollar stuff. I saw it was David Adams, so I went over to David Adams' website and searched for the card, and lo and behold, it was also listed on the website for about 150, maybe $200 cheaper. Now, they did have best offers turned on. I submitted an offer. I think I submitted 2K. I think I matched the last comp just for the hell of it. And they came back at $2,500, which was $50 more than what it was listed at on their own website. And the thing with purchasing on David Adams, at least for me, I don't get charged sales tax. So I didn't even hesitate. I double checked the PSA cert number, which I always do when I'm buying a little bit more expensive card. Went over to David Adams, logged into my account, got even a little bit more of a discount because I'm a silver tier member. I don't know, whatever that means. Purchased it. And the one thing with David Adams is they ship extremely fast to me. I bought this on Monday night, and I had it yesterday. And it is the final piece of the puzzle. This was the missing link. We have the Carrie Fisher, have the Harrison Ford, the James Earl Jones, and the Mark Hamill. Now, normally I'm a Star Wars Stellar guy. That's what most of my collection is. Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill, their Star Wars Stellars are sticker autos. One of my requirements for this collection, outside of one card because I just kind of liked it, is on card autos. So I didn't really have a choice here. James Earl Jones does not have a Star Wars Stellar card. And then I obviously have a bunch of other heavy hitters. I'll flip through the collection at the end for those that want to see it. But that's the heart and soul of it right there. Those are the 4 big ones. I would love an Alec Guinness Obi-Wan auto, but they are extremely rare and extremely expensive. That would be really cool to have just because there's not a lot of them out there. But this now completes all the heavy hitters from this collection. This is a card. There was this one that I liked, and I really liked the Masterworks one. There was a couple of others. A lot of her signatures are very streaky because of how she is not shy. A little Ken Griffey Jr. in her with how much space she likes to take up for the signature. This card presents extremely well on the front. It is a PSA 7, but that is mostly because of edge chipping on the back. So I am not super concerned about that. Looks good on the front. The auto looks good. I actually, if I get bored one day, I may actually crack this out. I don't know. I don't know that I see that the 7 and the 9 adds any value to it. So I may actually crack this out and mag it at some point in time. But boy, that felt good. And unfortunately, sometimes when you get the card in hand, once you actually own it for a little while, because in this card I have not experienced this with yet, but there's been other items that you chase them for a long time, and then you finally own it, and the shine kind of comes off of it after a while. Not that you still don't love it, but like I said at the top of the video, the hunt, I think for a lot of us, is what really gets you up in the morning. You know, to steal the quote from Heat, the action is the juice. And in this case, the action is just trying to find the card. Once you own it, buying it's the easy part. Sometimes trying to track them down or just the right copy is the tricky part. I'm going to go ahead and I'll filter through it. Talking wise, that's really all I got. I'm just going to kind of roll through the Star Wars collection. I know some people like to see that stuff. If you don't, I get it. But don't be afraid to go after what you want to go after, and don't lose sight of the thrill of the hunt when we're going after this stuff. I get it. Cards can have a lot of unneeded drama in it on the day-to-day. Don't let that get in the way of the enjoyment of this. So with that, I'll go ahead and flip through. So like I said, these are the heavy hitters. We have the Carrie Fisher, we have the Harrison Ford, we have the James Earl Jones, we have the Mark Hamill. The Harrison Ford was the first expensive one that I bought. That was the one that I wanted the most. Harrison Ford as Han Solo is one of the most iconic characters ever. These two I picked up at the National, but those are the big four. And then this is my entire Star Wars auto collection. This completes the high end. The only other expensive one would be an Alec Guinness. The only thing that I would ever possibly upgrade, and there are not a lot of them, I'm always going to be on the lookout for a 77 Topps Carrie Fisher. There's very few of them out there. They're extremely expensive. It's probably a pipe dream, but it'll always be in the back of my mind. And then here, I have a lot of the more modern players, if you will. Not all. Like at the top, and actually this card's gotten very expensive lately. I have the Stellan Skarsgård rather, as Luthen Rail from Andor. I specifically went after this one because of the image. It is an on-card auto, but I liked him as the Luthen Rail character versus the art dealer character that he kind of portrayed in the show. A couple Masterworks autos. Got the Ashley Eckstein. I love Ashley Eckstein. I love Ahsoka Tano. Timothy Oliphant. He does not have a Star Wars Stellar auto, and I really liked Cobb Vanth, and it's Timothy Oliphant. He's a badass. So I picked up the Masterworks auto of him that came out last year. Katie Sackhoff as Bo-Katan. I would actually like to get a different version of this. Same with the Cobb Vanth. I'm not a real big fan of this version of Masterworks. This, whatever this is in the background, does not do it for me. I have a saved search for some Star Wars Antiquity autos of both of these two that I would not mind getting. Then the next huge chunk of this is all Star Wars Stellar, which is my preferred set. We have the Sarah Michelle Gellar. We have the Alan Tudyk as K2SO. 2017 Stellar, in my opinion, the best year. That is one thing I also would have my eye out for if the opportunity ever presented at a reasonable price. The Harrison Ford from 2017 Stellar is an iconic image. It's him in the vest with the blaster in his hand, kind of pointing it at the camera. It looks stunning. I would love to have one of those. Ashley Eckstein Stellar as Ahsoka. We have the dual auto of Ahsoka and Sabine out of Star Wars Stellar. The Lars Mikkelsen as Admiral Thrawn from the cartoon. Jyn Erso from Rogue One, one of my favorite Star Wars movies, along with the Ben Mendelsohn as Director Krennic. Once again, that 2017 Stellar just looks so clean. Amazing design on Stellar. I am still upset to this day that they no longer make it. The Billy D. Williams as Lando. Went with this one because of the image. We have the Jeremy Bulloch, the OG Boba Fett. The only sticker auto in the collection. And I just got it because I love these two characters. The Ahsoka Sabine dual auto. Shout out Brad Beeman for the deal on this. I picked this up a while back. There are a few other random dual and triple autos that I kind of have my eye on. But most of them are sticker autos, unfortunately. Now we get into the last of the heavy hitters that kind of pair up with this this first stack here. We have the Rosario out of Stellar, her only Star Wars Stellar auto. The Hayden as Anakin out of Stellar. The Obi-Wan Blue out of Stellar. And last but not least, actually probably, I haven't seen one of these sell in a really long time. As crazy as it sounds, this might be the most expensive card out of all of them. The Pedro Pascal out of Star Wars Stellar. For a while, this card was selling for around $5K. I don't know if that price is held or not, because one is not transacted in years. I think it probably came down a little bit, but I don't know where it's at right now. There's literally not, I haven't looked recently, but last time I checked, there's not been one that sold. I have a save search for Star Wars Stellar, so I usually see pretty much all the autos that pop up for it. I have not seen a Pedro Pascal appear in probably a couple of years. He is signing again, so his auto is in Antiquities along with a couple other sets. Those go for about 2K, but he only has about maybe 50 copies of a Stellar auto. I forget the numbering on all of them. And I got this for a steal of a deal. I think I paid like 12 or 1300 for this years ago. Also one of the first ones that I got, a big one that I was hunting for at the time as well. Kind of fell into my lap. It was posted on a Facebook group. I saw it, put an offer in while I was driving, and closed the deal very quickly. And a lot of people in the comment section were not happy about it because a lot of people were looking for this card. So that's the collection. And that's another one in the books. I did the Triple H auto, the WWE thing last week. There just happened to be this confluence of events where these cards all popped up in a row. And I actually have one more coming that's unrelated to those two PCs, but it is another non-sport banger. It's a big one. We'll see. It's not the Robert Downey Jr. That is now target number one on my list, is the RDJ auto out of 2008 Rittenhouse. That is the number one on the hit list now. One actually just got posted to eBay for $13,000, extremely overpriced. But I have another non-sport. I would consider it the grail of this particular property. I took a massive risk on it. You'll understand when I tell the story once the card gets in hand. But that'll be probably next week sometime. It doesn't get delivered until early next week. It got stuck at eBay AG for over a week. Fun times. And I'm sweating this card out. Once again, you'll understand when I get it and I kind of run through the story. I have my fingers crossed that this card is going to be what I thought it was when I bought it. I took a huge risk. Huge risk. So that's all I got. Everybody have a fantastic weekend. We will see you back here on Sunday for the weekly sports card market update. Oh, probably a live stream on Saturday morning. Upper Deck has kindly sent me a few entertainment boxes. We have the boys. We have some James Bond and some Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which I believe is a Borderlands property that they sent me that I'm going to do a live stream on Saturday sometime and open those up. With that being said, go out there and find whatever it is that you're chasing for. Catch you boys and girls on the next one. Peace.